If you're not with me, I'd rather not be saved. There's no decision to be made. If you're not with me, I'll just let it float away. That's how we do it, yeah. That's how we do it.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Highlight TV Cup series. My name is Tasty Alda and with me is Ben Varmaran, and this is the first game we'll be bringing you of many. On the blue side we have Enigma Esports, and on the purple side we have For the Win Gaming.
Yes, and as it is our first game of today, it's going to be very exciting to see which team will really get a good start to this tournament.
Yeah, no, both teams actually going in quite fast with the bans already, as we are into pick and ban phase. Ari, Callista and Trundle banned out by Enigma Esports on that blue side, and Alistar and Gragas have both been banned out so far by For the Win Esports.
I really like to see Trundle being banned out. Callista doesn't really make sense to me anymore as she got nerfed in this patch. She's way weaker now. Her early game got toned down really hard with the nerfs to her W. So Callista doesn't make sense to me, but Trundle is still very strong as a good split pusher, and really his subjugate is what makes him so strong, because he tears down these tanks and steals their magic resistance and armor.
The last ban did come through as well. That was Quinn, and now the first pick already locked in for Enigma Esports. That will be Poppy, probably going to Legend of Nikki there in the top lane.
Yeah, that will most likely go to Legend of Nikki, as this is most played champion in solo queue, but it could also go to Revoltech, as it is his 6th most played champion in solo queue. So they definitely have the option to do some flex picking if they want to, but most likely Legend of Nikki.
And then two very quick fire picks coming in there right at the end of the timer. That was Braum and Jin coming through for the purple side there for the Win Esports. That'll be the bot lane already locked in for them, one would imagine.
And I love to see Jin coming through the pick and ban phase, because Jin, he's such a fun champion to watch, first off, but he also packs a lot of damage in his kit. He can really do so much damage with his auto attacks because of his passive. And with someone like Braum, it can be it can really be a really punishing lane. So I like to see them picking those two up, and you're not really showing too much with only picking the bottom lane for now. And it doesn't help for me to say that I might be a Jin main.
I think there are plenty of quote-unquote Jin mains out there right now, but some better than others, certainly, and we'll be able to see if Pharax is able to perform on that Jin in this game. Meanwhile, Rek'Sai and Corki have both been locked in on the blue side. That is for Enigma Esports. Rek'Sai going to be going to Svikta, rather, in the jungle, and probably Corki in the middle lane, though it could flex to AD carry as well.
And again, Enigma, they're getting a lot of these priority picks for them, because as we already mentioned, Legend of Nicky's most played champion is Poppy, Svictor's most played champion is Rek'Sai, so they're getting a lot of these good safe picks for themselves.
Two more picks locked in now. That'll be Nautilus and Kindred, interestingly enough, locked in for the Win Esports. That'll be Kindred going to Cayuga in the jungle, one would imagine, and probably Nautilus into the top lane for Chippy Cow.
And again, now you already have a lot of CC on the side of for the Win Esports. I really like that composition already, because you have Braum and Nautilus who can peel for Jin, and then immediately you pick up this double AD carry. So you have a lot of late game damage already packing into your team composition. And then also Kindred, she's one of the best early game duelists in the jungle you can get. So she's not exactly giving up way too much pressure in the early game.
Right, and it looks like Enigma Esports have locked in their final two picks now, and have actually locked it in completely in the right order, unless it's going to be a Karma top lane, which I'd be very surprised to see. So it's Karma in the support role, and Ezreal, the AD carry, and the last pick also comes through for the Win Esports. That'll be Lux in the middle lane for Son of Dragon.
And really, Enigma Esports, they have a good synchronized power spike in the team composition. You have Corki, Ezreal, and Poppy all going for these Sheen builds. I mean, Poppy is going to go for Iceborne Gauntlet alongside Ezreal, and Corki is going to go for Trinity Force. So their power spike, their power curve in their mid game, rather say, is going to be a good one that just follows the whole team.
Yeah, so based on these two compositions so far, based on nothing else besides the compositions, who do you, in your expert opinion, think is going to win this game?
Well, if I have to do my expert opinion, I would say I really like for the Win Esports club their team composition. I feel like it's more well-rounded.
Right.
They have more win conditions of just team fighting and protecting Jin and Kindred. And you don't exactly have a front line over on the side of Enigma Esports as you have on For the Win Esports Club. So I'd say it could be, well, I'd say it's going to be For the Win Esports Club. But I know Enigma, and I know that they know how to play around their team composition and power spikes. So it's certainly not going to be easy for them to lose this game.
Yeah, interesting. They are running a double heal on the side of Enigma Esports. Now, that's pretty common. Of course, Ezreal always going to take heal. He's in the AD carry role. However, the Corki taking heal in the mid lane. It's an interesting choice. It's going to be matched again by a heal on the side of Son of Dragon as well in the middle lane. So, two heals in the middle lane. Imagine we won't be seeing too many explosive fights as a result of it.
And I'm actually a little bit surprised we haven't seen an Aurelion Sol coming out into this game. I mean, he might be a little underpowered. I feel like he is that. His Q is really the only ability in his kit I feel like is very strong. Of course he can deal a lot of damage with both the Center of the Universe and his Voice of Light, his ultimate, but essentially it's all about his Q, Star Surge.
Right. So while we do not have him, we do have Jin, the next newest champion in the game, which in itself is pretty exciting, I think. And Kindred, pretty new champion as well. And I was about to say, Rek'Sai is also a new champion, but that's probably almost a year ago now, or maybe even over a year ago.
Well, I still remember when Rek'Sai came out. I
Yeah.
even remember when Draven came out, and that's like 2 or 3 years ago.
Right, yeah. I think the first champion that had been actually released, or the last champion that was released before I started playing was Braum, actually. So we have one of those in this game as well, so how about that? But actually, I think I agree with you on the side of For the Win Esports' composition, because I really like the idea of having a double AD carry composition, double marksman, with such a beefy front line that really can body block for them. Simple as that. It's particularly considering they'll be up against a lot of poke, because Karma has plenty of poke, or a little bit at least. Ezreal and Corki obviously poke machines, and if all of that poke is just going into the Braum shield or into just Chippy Chow's huge Titan of the Depths body, then it's not going to do that much damage to the backline of For the Win Esports.
Well, also the thing I like about For the Win Esports' team composition is that you have a lot of early game pressure. You have both Kindred, who is that duelist, so you can easily go and invade into the jungle, but you also have Lux that once she reaches level 6, her final spark can easily help you pretty much wherever you are on the map. So there's some clear ways to play around in the early game for the Win Esports, and you can even go to the bottom lane because of Braum is there. So concussive blows could also help someone like Jhin and Kindred popping those concussive blows very fast, and that could result into some very strong ganks.
Yeah, if we get actually a concussive blows proc, like the 4th proc mixed with Jin's 4th auto, that is going to be some fearsome damage there in the bottom lane. We'll see if they're able to make that one align, as we are now, hopefully, getting into the loading screen any moment now. We'll be able to see the Keystone Masteries, as well as any cool skins that anyone's using.
You're a monster with your Fate of Thoughts. 4th concussive blows and Jin's 4th auto attack.
Yeah, I mean,
damn,
that's the dream, right? That is the dream.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the dream, but it's just so disgusting with all of that burst.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it'll be annoying enough to have Ezreal Qs and Karma Qs flying at you the whole time in laning phase anyway, so it'll just be getting a bit of their own back. Of course, there could be a lane swap and none of this could happen, but, you know, we'll wait and see once we get into the game.
That could definitely be the thing that might happen, and I mean, both teams are high tier in solo queue, so they should have it practiced and have it in their pocket if they have to do a lane swap. It should be something they can just bring out and do to a standard kind of way. It really shouldn't be that hard for these teams.
So looking at the Keystone Masteries really quickly, a couple of things jump out to me instantly. So first of all, you've got Fervor of Battle Kindred. Now obviously Kindred is a marksman, however it's much more common to see Strength of Ages for pretty much any jungler right now.
Well, the thing is that we don't really see too many Tracker's Knife for junglers anymore. Someone like Rek'Sai can obviously go for Tracker's Knife, but on Kindred, who just wants to duel, it's so much more common to see a Skirmisher Saber, and actually Richter might be in some trouble.
Oh no, he's gonna back away from that one. He knows that that's not a five stack of people is not what he wants to be fighting. Certainly not able to 1v1 at this early stage in the game, and on Rek'Sai, probably not going to be able to do it at any point of the game, being realistic.
But he gave 10 gold over to Chippy Chow, so sorry,
I mean, the game's over, so as a result of that game is 100% over. No coming back from that. 10 gold lead, GG, FF20.
Chippy Chow is just going to spin out of control now.
Yeah.
He can go back and just wait like 20 seconds, 30 seconds for a pink ward.
Yeah, when you get the Nautilus rolling, that is just, whew, watch out. But regardless, we do see invades on both sides. Enigma Esports did get some deep wards in response to the deep wards that were gained by the 5-man stack of For the Win Esports. Legend of Nikki actually going to face check into this brush right now. He's going to take some damage. I don't think he's going to go down though, but that is a decent chunk of his health taken away by Cayuga and Chippy Cow there in that jungle, and perhaps a little bit of carelessness there from Legend of Nikki to face check that brush right then.
And this should be a teleport advantage going over to For the Win Esports now, that you have forced Legend of Nikki back, but now it's actually not going to be a teleport advantage, as Legend of Nikki are going to go to the bottom lane. Really smart play actually, because you haven't seen the bottom lane of For the Win Esports anywhere on the map, so it's fairly safe to just go to a jungler, and you can always use the teleport later if needed. And I like how Hosan and Revoltech, they went over and took the blue buff of Forwin Esports. But it kind of sets Svictor behind now that he only gets a red buff, because in the end, Hyunga, he's going to get 2 buffs anyway, so Svictor is put a little bit behind, but still, it's a blue buff for Hosen, so pushing will be faster.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that because Svictor is playing that Rek'Sai, I mean, in competitive games, we've been seeing quite a lot of the time, Rek'Sai's actually giving away the first blue buff to their own mid laner anyway. So I don't think it really affects him that much, considering he's on that Rek'Sai, because that's, I mean, obviously no mana involved, not that cooldown reliant of a champion either, particularly in the early levels.
No, but the experience will still hurt him, and especially against someone who wants to be invading, that can be a very punishing mistake for Enigma. Still, it's way too early to say it's definitely the loss of the game, but as we predicted, lane swaps are coming out, and as far as I can see, it's Enigma that are in the lead right now, but they don't have that big of a wave, so they will be pushed off very soon. Oh no, actually the wave comes up to them.
Just came in time, alright.
They're lucky. or calculated, I'm not quite sure.
I'm going to go with calculated on this one. These guys are a very solid group of players, so I think they probably had the awareness there that they would be okay to keep pummeling it down with Nikki and Revoltech.
Yeah, but actually, he got it before taking a tower shot, so now they fight in
the middle lane. An aggressive Valkyrie actually gets him further away than Cayuga, who was coming in for the gank, so that, while an aggressive move by Hu there, that might have actually saved his life, interestingly enough. I'm not sure if he even knew about the gank coming. Maybe he did that just to avoid the luck stun, I don't know, but whatever it is, it worked out well for him.
And I have seen way too many Corgis first people. I got hyped over nothing. But I'd actually like to talk again about the lane swaps, because we just saw Chibicow go back, Pharynx go back while Chibicow took the tower, so they are splitting their global gold of the tower, and this sets Chibicow a little bit behind, because obviously Legend of Nikki got the gold alone, so when we are in a lane swap, he's not going to get too much gold from minions, so he's a little bit behind now.
Yeah, and this is actually making it even worse for Chibicow right now. He's had his back stopped, and he's been pummeled in the backside by various Qs from Revoltech there, and that's going to hurt him because he still can't recall right now, so he's still on 4 CS, while Legend of Nikki has been able to CS up to 12 and will be doing the Krugs down there as well. However, very close by is JOO there, as well as Cayuga. However, Zvika actually going to find out Chibicow, and he's only level 2 against a level 4. And the level 5 Corki coming in as well with Hu. Chibicow could be dead. He's going to flash the wall. That'll keep him alive for now, but Chibicow is having an awful start to this game.
I love what Enigma are doing right now. They knew that they had the momentum going after they got the first tower, way before Forwin Esports did. So they're really making a lot of plays, and they can afford going for these aggressive plays in their own jungle as well. It's nice to see a team utilize this momentum that they got in such a great way.
And they're way ahead of the curve as well on taking the second turret in this turret trade here. So Chibicow actually getting even lower off those minions. He's going pretty low. He's gonna have to back away surely. I mean, he's playing with fire right now. It's only minions, but he's only level 2 and is actually a Poppy hanging around as well. Legend of Nikki might actually be able to pick himself up a kill here. He's gonna go in on a Chibicow surely. There is the shield though. Will it be enough to take him down? It is. That's first blood for Legend of Nikki, and he's gonna flash away as well before the fourth concussive blow procs onto him. He's disrupted the tower trade. He's got first blood, and the whole time the rest of his team were taking the turret in the top lane. This is excellent for Enigma Esports.
That was so cheeky of Legend of Nikki. I mean, as you said, they disrupted the tower pushing, and Enigma. Meanwhile, Legend of Nikki were taking down Chibicow. They also took up the Rift Herald. So again, momentum is really on the side of Enigma, and they can just keep pushing in the top lane. They are way ahead of the curve, and with the Doom's Eve buff from the Rift Herald, this is surely going to be a second tower and might even tower dive.
They are going to look to tower dive Chibicow. He does get away with the dredge line, but he still gets knocked up. Revoltech going to flash away from turret aggro solo. The heal is there to keep him alive. Meanwhile, Hosen takes down Chibicow as well, and this is going from bad to worse for the Win Esports right now, unless they can actually get a return kill here, who might have gone a bit too aggressive, trying to steal away the Raptor camp. He's going incredibly low. Cayuga, he'll be able to chase, has the flash, goes in. Final Spark was nowhere near, but it didn't matter because Kindred picks up the solo kill there. Cayuga, that'll be good for him, and that might just turn the game around a bit more in the Win Esports' favor, but still not a favorable tower trade, or in general the early game for them.
Well, they got a kill onto Chippy Cow, so while Enigma Esports, they gave up a kill with Who going down, I feel like they come out ahead in that trade because they keep Chippy Cow down. He only has 4 CS and we're nearly 8 minutes into the game. That's 2 CS a minute. Sorry,
yeah. Half a CS a minute.
Yeah, half a CS. There we go. My math is so great.
Chippy Cow, he's only level 3 as well. This is absolutely disastrous for the top laner for the Win Esports right now. He's finally getting a minion wave there. He's picked it up to 9 CS. There's a few more minions for him to take. I wonder if he'll probably just be trying to get a deep freeze in that lane to try and restore the balance a little bit in CS, but he's going to need some help from his jungler. And you know what? Zvitka is still hanging around the bottom side. He might actually be going on towards Chippy Cow, trying to get another kill onto him and really put the Nautilus down.
Well, he also has... Oh, wait, actually, might he fight in the jungle?
Probably not. Just a little bit of a supportal combat there between Braum and Karma. Not exactly two champions with the highest amount of early game damage. Karma does have a bit more than Braum, you would say, but not going to be a kill there. However, there might be a kill here as once again Chippy Cow finds himself under the kosh, knocked into the wall, going incredibly low. Surely one more auto will do it. Zvictor is the one who picks it up. And meanwhile, in the top lane, a battle of the AD carries. They were left on their own, and HCS solos Pharax.
Oh, HCS, you're not done yet.
He's not done yet. He's going on to Ju now, and this might be a problem for him. However, he does get the concussive stacks onto him and forces HCS to get that Arcane Shift away with the shield as well from Revoltech to make sure he was going to stay alive. Kyuga was also hanging around, so it's probably the right idea there for HCS to back away.
And I don't understand why Enigma Esports are being allowed to do all of these aggressive plays. I mean, of course the origin came from the momentum that they got after taking the towers in the split push. Sorry, not split push, in the lane swap. But still, it's very unfortunate to see this for the Win Esports, and I feel like they should be able to deal with something like this. You just have to play defensively and wait for your own turn to come and return. And now the Dragon might also go over to Enigma Esports.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be picking that one up, and you know, I feel like for the Win Esports, they should have probably at least tried to trade the Dragon. It might put them a bit too behind, though, I don't know. But for the Rift Herald earlier on when that was taken, they should have, after they took the turret in the bottom lane, you feel like they could have at least given it a go trying to take down the Dragon. Maybe they felt like they didn't have enough time to or whatever. Maybe they felt they'd lose too much experience and creeps from doing so. But it does mean that even the Dragons are going in favor of Enigma Esports right now, and I don't think you can find anything that isn't in their favor.
Well, you generally lose a lot of momentum whenever you take a dragon in a lane swap. It takes a long time, and you don't really benefit from it. It's only 6% AD and AP. You don't really notice that until later in the game. So, as I said, a lot of momentum will be lost if you do that, but still, now that Enigma Esports, they actually can afford to lose a little bit of momentum, and they are so far ahead, it doesn't hurt them to go for it. And something I'm looking forward to seeing is... Oh wait, actually HCS in the bottom lane.
This might be another solo kill between the AD carries right now. HCS is actually a TP coming in behind him. He's going to be in trouble because Cayuga is there as well. Finally, they're punishing Enigma Esports for these aggressive plays, and it's Chippy Cow who actually gets the kill. He'll be so happy about that one right now. Revoltech still only level 4. Going to get stunned up. In comes Son of Dragon. Another kill there. Another Enigma Esports player out of position, and for the Win Esports, pick up 2 kills and actually bring the gold back even.
That's very unfortunate for Enigma Esports. They should not be taking all of these fights. They should be looking to do more of a team fight oriented style. I mean, Kindred and Lux can be so punishing if they find someone out of position, especially Lux in this stage of the game when she has Morello Nomicon. That it's I wouldn't say a huge power spike, but it's definitely bringing way more punch to the table.
Yeah. And actually, one thing that was going in favor of for the win earlier was the ward control. However, that has been completely reversed now by Enigma Esports. So going backwards and forwards in waves a little bit, the ward control. But at the moment, it's Enigma that have it. They will take away the Scuttle Crabazor just as the Kindred mark comes onto it. So that will feel very bad for Cayuga, but I'm sure Zvictor will be very happy about that one.
He will definitely be very happy of it. And now Enigma Esports, they're invading again. They just keep doing this because of that momentum swing that they got. They keep utilizing it. It's very nice to see that they're doing this. And I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You have to keep pushing the limits of your team, pushing the boundaries. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But a team like Enigma Esports, even if it doesn't work, they should know how to play from behind if it fails miserably.
Yeah, one thing to note, however, there is perhaps a slight oversight on their part, or maybe it's all part of the plan, I don't know, but Revoltech still only level 4 right now, which is, at this point, lower than anyone in the game by 2 levels. The next lowest is due on that Braum at 6, so quite behind the curve right now for Revoltech. We'll be able to see, I mean, he'll probably catch up the levels a little bit later on, but that could hinder him going forward here, particularly into mid-game team fights.
Oh, Hosan!
Cayuga might be looking to catch out Hosan once again, but he's met a party there, and it's not one he wanted to be invited to. A surprise party, if you will, for Enigma, and they, once again, take down Cayuga, and this is, once again, a very good trap laid for them, an aggressive play, but it pays off.
It definitely pays off, and I got a little bit scared for Hosan. I thought he was alone in the bottom lane, but apparently also who were there, and I'm glad. Sorry, I'm not quite sure. No, it was Revoltech in the bottom lane. Sorry, but something I'm looking forward to seeing is when Who gets his Trinity Force, because he's in a matchup against Lux, and Lux in this patch we are in 6.6. In this patch, her shield got a hit. It got nerfed, so the radio and the shield amount has been toned down. So someone like Corgi, and we've all seen how much burst he can do. Can actually punish someone like Lux very hard.
Yeah, Sun Dragon does also have that heal available to him though, so he might be able to sustain through it. We'll have to see. It depends on how many auto attacks Who manages to get off on that Corki. Currently back in base now, just picking up. He has picked up the Triforce now, so that is a big power spike for him. He's also got the boost of speed, so he'll be able to get back to the lane a little quicker as well, and a pink ward. Everyone should buy one. The fact that there are 7 pink wards in the game right now should be a good advert to everyone watching that pink wards are very important, and you should definitely buy them in solo queue.
And it's very good to take them down as well. We just saw that on the screen as well. But now Enigma Esports, they will pick up the Rift Herald, and them picking up the Rift Herald, it's again a swing in momentum. With that Rift Herald, the Doomsieve, it gives 10% increased damage, 40% attack speed to minions, and you get 4+ movement speed. So you're able to make so many more plays around the map, and now Hosan is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you're right this time. He certainly is in trouble. There's no bait being laid.
Wow,
he is
overkill.
Completely wrecked by everybody there. It's Cayuga that picks up the kill. Son of Dragon actually came in to use the ultimate as well, maybe to pick up the kill, but there was a bit of miscommunication. Didn't even pick up an assist there, however. Still a kill for the win, and that'll feel pretty good for them. They've almost even out the gold once again.
But it might have been an overkill. I mean, even Final
No, it
Spark
certainly was an overkill.
Yeah, Final Spark and Curtain's Call were used, so they just wanted Hosan to be dead and not alive.
Yeah. Usually a factor of being dead. One thing to note, however, right now, I said how pink quartz are very important, everyone should be buying them. When you put your 3 pink quartz quite so close together as For the Win have, slightly reduces the effectiveness a little bit, perhaps. Do you think it's a good placement? Or right there, you can see all 3 of them on your screen in a triangle right there.
I just think it's Illuminati confirmed.
Right, okay.
well, as you
Professional analysis, Illuminati confirmed, nothing else.
Well, okay, if we have to take it serious, I mean, they just want control over the Dragon Pit. That's obvious. The Dragon just respawned, and they will never get flanked. This way, they even have wards behind the Dragon Pit as well, so they will never get flanked, and they will know if Enigma Esports wants to fight. Oh, Kyunga!
Yeah, Kyuga actually going very low, does pop the Lamb's Respite just in time. Might be able to sustain through it, will get away, be able to use the Dance Virus to get away there. Legend of Nikki also quite low. Revoltech takes a Winter's Bite, actually the Curtain Call coming out now. He's going to fire onto Hosan. 1 kill already goes down. Chippy Cow was taken out by Who. Legend of Nikki very low, but Curtain Call doesn't pick anyone up, and Pharax now has a big cooldown for that. I believe he fired all 4 bullets. He might even go down here. However, the heal was there. HOZONE actually tanking the turret right now. Who still going aggressive. Not going to pick up another kill, though. Another flash burned. And that was a cacophony of summoners and ultimates, but only 1 kill.
Well, yeah, it was only 1 kill, so that's a little bit interesting to actually see that only 1 went down. But I like how Enigma Esports, they... Oh wait, that's teleport coming in.
Teleport coming in. Son of Dragon mistimes the light binding and he's knocked up against the wall. Legend of Nikki locks him up and HOZONE takes him down.
But as I was about to say, I like how Enigma Esports, they are playing around their mid-game power spike. In the lobby, I mentioned how they have this really nice synchronized power curve with the Trinity Forces and the Iceborne Gauntlet, which have been completed for both Ezreal and Corki. So they're just playing around this mid-game power spike. We were 80 minutes into the game. They have 3 towers, and they are in the gold lead, and they just can continue to be in the gold lead because of this very nice power spike that they have.
Yeah, and right now it is looking pretty grim for the win. I mean, Enigma have been dominating them all over the map. They've taken more turrets, and then they've got more kills, and then they've got 2 dragons to 0. They've got the gold lead. And, I mean, for the win do have the one shining ray of light, which is Cayuga. Cayuga's having a decent game so far on Kindred, but probably not going to see a solo carry coming out of a Kindred. They might be able to turn the game around with some well-placed picks and that sort of thing. However, Legend of Nikki is the one looking to get another pick for Enigma Esports, and he might just do it. Knocks up Pharax with the Keeper's Verdict. He's still going for it. Q doesn't land. There is a steadfast presence. Means that Nautilus can't get in to help Pharax right now, and the audacious charge picks it up, and Legend of Nikki actually flashes away as well to get rid of Chippy Chow. And now Chippy Chow might be the one who's actually in trouble, because Who has arrived with the package. He's going to crit him. Mixed damage crits do a lot of damage. However, there is the support crew. Son of Dragon comes in. Final Spark picks up the kill, and Who thought he had a kill for sure, but then out of the bush comes a Braum and a Lux and saves Chippy Cow's life.
I can never get over how brutal the Final Spark looks. It looks so brutal, but it was a nice pick of Legend of Nikki to pick up a kill onto Pharax. If Pharax shouldn't have been that far up, when there's no tower, there could easily have been a Poppy in the brush as there were. I mean, you didn't see him anywhere on the map, and the problem also for the Win Esports is that they're lacking a lot of vision right now. They have a few defensive wards, but that's about it. And they need way more, especially now that Kuga doesn't have a Tracker's Knife. So then they need more to be able to play around the fact that they don't have that Tracker's Knife. So they need to complement each other that way. And something that also is very punishing for the Win Esports was that they lost the Dragon, and Kuga, he's going for a Sated Devourer. So that is 5 stacks he's missing out on.
Yeah, certainly hurting a little bit. He still does have a fair few stacks. HOZONE once again trying to make Chippy Cow another sacrificial lamb, if you will. Chippy Cow does manage to get away. He had to use the depth charge though, and that is a fairly big cooldown. And the fact that he's bullied out of that top lane means that Son of Dragon will have to become present in that top lane in order to clear the waves. Either Enigma would have taken another turret, however. Son of Dragon is there, so will not happen now, but it does mean that Who can now push out the middle lane, be able to see if Enigma are able to get any damage onto that objective.
But they have to get through Son of Dragon. Obviously, Son of Dragon is the wave clear for the Win Esports. But if they can just get a few moments onto the tower, then a lot of damage can get taken. I mean, that was a quarter of the health onto that tower, and that's just the power of a Trinity Force and a 2-stack Corki. I mean, the second stack, it gives you burn onto towers, so they're utilizing it actually pretty well with just getting a few moments onto a tower.
Yeah, no, chip damage on turrets is still very, very valuable. It can't be quantified in gold or anything like that, but it is certainly valuable and something Enigma will be pleased to get, particularly if they manage to get it over and over again. And if they keep getting picks onto For the Win Esports, then they'll be able to do it. And once again, they might be trying to set up another pick, as Chippy Cow is pretty far extended in the bottom lane. He might be in trouble. If they choose to go towards the bottom lane, he does have some ward coverage, however, and it's only Revoltech that's heading down towards him right now.
But Chippy Cow cannot push that fast, really. It's an Nautilus, of course. He does have his E, the Riptide, that will help him push, but it is still, you're again a Poppy, and Poppy is going to push way better. But hold on a second, we might see a team fight in the mid lane.
We might. Who is gonna be taken down? One light binding lands and he is dead. Revoltech, he's having to run away. Curtain Call is onto him. We did see Koga just about staying alive through the Land's Respite as well there, and Ju gonna back away in the end. They're not gonna be able to pick up another kill, but one kill for Win Esports is good, and they'll be looking to siege up this middle lane turret right now. A lot of the wave clear was just taken away for Enigma.
That's definitely right, and the thing is still that someone like Hosan with the Iceborne Gauntlet can take down waves very fast. So
yeah,
in the end, for the Win Esports, they need more time than they just got. If they want to take down towers, they need to start a siege, and you don't do that in one wave. You need to do it consistently over 2, 3, 4 waves. You don't do it over one wave.
Yep, and Koga still getting a fair amount of farm, equal in farm currently with Zvictor, which is still quite impressive considering the way the game's been going, and he is still 2-1-1, and also Son of Dragon, he's getting pretty heavily rolling now in the middle lane, and Lux, not the least snowbally of champions certainly, so they'll be feeling pretty good about that one for the Win Esports, but they are still lacking a bit in other positions. Pharax is making up a little bit for the fact that he doesn't have any kills. With the CS deficit he's managed to pull ahead of Hosan with, but it's not all that significant right now.
And the next big objective in this game for the Win Esports is to get the Sated Devour onto Kyuga. He only needs 4 stacks, so it's a matter of 2 minutes around that time. But still, for Kyuga, it's been hard to get the Sated Devour, and it's been a long time coming. It's a late Sated Devour at this point, because you've been consistently invaded, and you haven't been able to take up these jungle monsters that you need to get your Sated Devour. So
yeah,
it is a very late one, and this next dragon could be the deciding one to get the Sated Devour, but still, in a team fight, I feel like Enigma Esports, they are stronger.
But right now, for the Win Esports do have priority positioning. Actually, a TP
in.
coming in from Legend of Nikki. He's actually going on to Pharax back there, but Pharax will be able to get away. A counter teleport coming in now for Chippy Chow into the river, and Ju and Kyuga, they're actually going to try and go aggressive onto Hosan. If they could take him down, that would be big, but Legend of Nikki is the only one in the curtain call right now. Hosan is slain though, and so is Revoltech. Looking good for the Win Esports here. They'll be able to see if they're able to keep going. Final Spark comes across, does some extra damage to them. Knocked up by the Deadly Flourish there. They're going to be taking down Zvictor. There are the concussive blows. There's the second auto actually from Pharax, not the fourth one, but still a very stylish kill coming through for the Jhin there, and very, very good right now for the Win Esports. They'll be loving that, and now they get the Dragon as well. There is the Sated Kindred, I do believe, for Kyuga, and they pick up their first Dragon of the game.
And that is so great for the Win Esports, that they get these kills and they get the Dragon as well. And the problem is, Hosan should never have been there. You don't want to be in a bad position as someone like Israel, especially in this team composition where you have that clear front line of Rek'Sai and Poppy. You need to establish the front line, and actually we're fighting once again.
Yes, Victor comes in, but he's going to have to go straight back out. He goes back in once again. Ju, very low, doesn't quite get slain by the Buckler, and Legend of Nikki can't quite take him down. Still trying to get it, but not actually getting it. Too many shields there. There goes the Mantra shield from Karma, trying to get them to get a bit of a speed up, but they can't re-engage the fight. So that is good for the Win Esports. They took down that turret and they got out unscathed. That's very important. However, we might see a counter turret taken by Enigma as they can press pretty quickly onto these waves.
But I still feel like in an extended team fight, Enigma Esports will be better because of Ezreal and Corki. Son of Dragon is more about bursting, and that is something we saw in the last team fight.
Yeah.
If we can even call it a team fight, more of a pick, because
a series of picks, yeah.
Yeah, Hosan got bursted down, so did Zvictor. So really, it was more about Son of Dragon just being allowed to burst people. It wasn't a straight up team fight.
Yeah, no, and I mean, if Hosan keeps playing aggressive like he has been, I mean, he's been doing it all game. He hasn't been punished for it too much until recently, but now that they're able to punish him for it, if he doesn't step back from this aggressive play he's been trying to do, and the picks he's been trying to make himself on the Ezreal, he's going to get counter-picked off, and that is going to be bad for Enigma Esports, because without their Ezreal, they lose a big chunk of their damage, and basically their capability to sustain a fight.
That is right. That is definitely right. And for someone like Hosan, who's been playing so aggressive, a QSS might be a good item to pick up.
Yeah, well, we'll see if that's what he picks up next. Right now, he's only picked up the Blade of the Ruin King, which he's been working towards for quite a while. He's finished the sort of absolute core build for Blue Build Ezreal, I think. I think he could fit in a QSS next. We'll be able to see if that's actually what he goes for. It might seem a bit unlikely because he has proved to be so aggressive so far. But, you know, a bit of safety is always required for anyone, and we'll be able to see if he agrees with that.
Something like a Morpheus could also be very good. Actually, Chippy Cow.
Chippy Cow is spotted up by the Tremor Sense there. He doesn't land the Dredge line either. Legend of Nikki. He's going to try and get away. He is slowed by the Winter's Bite, but there is the Keeper's Verdict to get Jew off his back, and he will just strut on out of there on that Poppy. Pharax, meanwhile, has been pushing the bottom lane, and Hosan is nowhere near. He was taking blue buff. Here comes his True Shot Barrage across the team. Does decent damage to Pharax there, and clears out the wave pretty well as well. Enigma Esports gonna hold on to this turret for now. We'll be able to see if For the Win Esports can take it on the next push. Here comes the minion wave. Bit of damage over the side. There's a Lucent Singularity. Not gonna catch anyone. Gonna do a bit of damage to the minions, but For the Win Esports decide better of it and back off.
And now For the Win Esports, they've come to a point in the game where they should be sieging, and we just saw that they actually tried to do that, but still, Hu and Hosan have a lot of wave clearance. So I'd actually like Chibicow or Joe to go for a CC Rod portal. I love the item, and I think it's so strong, especially in a meta where it's so much about having momentum. So being able to push the more lanes at once could be a good thing for the Win Esports club. Well, it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be an awesome thing, and I would love to see it.
Yeah, and be able to see if that's what the Chain Vest is heading towards right now for Chippy Chow, or if he's maybe going for a Thorn Mail or something similar instead. It's against sub-lady carry composition, so it'd make a little bit of sense. However, there's a lot of magic damage coming out of both of those AD carries really, but in particular the Corki, so might be a little more sensible to go for the ZZ. I think it would be a good pickup, certainly.
Well, it would help with getting a bit more momentum around the map, and you know, little strokes, they fell great oaks, and a little stroke could come out from the Voidling of a CC Rod portal, so it doesn't hurt to get it.
Yeah, some of those strokes aren't even that little, to be honest. They can hit pretty hard on the turret sometimes, especially the empowered ones. Now, those really pack a punch.
They do pack such a big punch, and it looks so funny when they get to the tower.
Yeah, I love the little animation of them like burrowing into the turret, like they're so dedicated. You know, people could really learn a thing or two from the little Voidlings. They are so dedicated to the cause, and I mean, minions are also dedicated, but they're kind of bad. So I prefer Voidlings.
I would love to see a caster minion just jump into the air and headbutt a tower. Oh, we might see a trade of the Baron and some towers.
Oh yeah, actually, Enigma Esports pushing in turrets here. They can probably take them pretty quickly. They have both AD carries present. The Baron is going to be traded over unless For the Win actually decide to back away from it. Son of Dragon has backed away, but they're going to lose the inhibitor turret at least. They might lose the inhibitor as well. Baron going low though, does get secured. They're going to trade the inhibitor for it, surely. In comes the depth charge, trying to delay it. It's onto Revoltech, though. Inhibitor goes down. The Mantra Shield should be enough to get Enigma Esports out. The flash away from Revoltech. Here comes the Curtain Call. That'll land us slow. Final Spark onto him as well. Revoltech, he's down. Legend of Nikki might be going down as well. In comes the Glacial Fisher, who managed to get away, but Legend of Nikki was not so lucky. He does get over the wall, though. Audacious Charge over to the Grump. Good use of that ability, and Jew can't quite decide who to chase. Can't really chase down anyone who might still be in trouble because in comes Cayuga, but there is another Valkyrie, but it might not be enough concussive stacks going on to him, who goes down as well. 2 kills traded for the Baron. Will Legend of Nikki get away? He will. A TP actually coming to the top side as well. Chippy Cow wants to take down that turret, and with the Baron buff, he just might be able to.
And For the Win Esports, they came out ahead on the... Oh, wait,
Pharax might be in trouble. Hosan did miss that Q, though, and they both back away in the end. The flash was burned from Pharax and Hosan. Both summoners from each there, so... An interesting trade, both deciding they'd had enough at exactly the same time. But, you know, still not really in favor of either team, but the overall play I think it's still in favor of Enigma. They did get the inhibitor, and Zvictor actually going to go on to Ju now as well. Son of Dragon might be in trouble because Legend of Nikki is onto him, and he'll stick to him like nothing else. Knocked up, Revoltech comes in as well, just adds a little shield to the mix, and Legend of Nikki gets the shutdown.
A good punishment once again, and they take away a bit of the Baron buff. It's obviously still over on the side of 41 Esports, but I'd take a Baron buff any day over an inhibitor.
Okay.
Well, in the long run, I feel like an inhibitor is better, but if you can make the Baron buff work, if you can get some towers, get the momentum swinging for you, especially now that Chibi Cow is going for a Rod of Ages, I feel like the Baron buff will be way better, and in a game where 41 Esports have had so much trouble with sieging up as well, then the Baron buff is like a gift sent from God.
Yeah, and especially if they can use the Baron buff to make sure that the missing inhibitor doesn't even matter, which it looks like they're being able to do so far. The wave was pushed pretty far out on the bot side. It is pushing back towards Omo, of course, with those super minions, so we'll be able to see if Enigma can use that. Who is clearing some minions in the middle lane, and Revoltech actually getting some wards down towards the top side of the jungle. This shows that Enigma actually wants to push onto that turret, but Son of Dragon is present, and Son of Dragon could completely solo out Hozan if he managed to get the chance to, if he landed the light binding, so Hozan decides he's going to back away.
Baron buff is still
never
up.
Mind,
Bottom is pushing.
Enigma, they're going back for it. There is the true shot barrage, and they're actually going on Son of Dragon so low. Hozan almost soloed him there.
But the bottom lane is pushing, and I love what Enigma is doing right now. Sieging up, so great. It's brilliant. They utilize that pressure that they have in the bottom lane to go to the top lane as well. But the problem is, Son of Dragon is there, but he's low. You can easily dive this and punish them for staying with a low Lux.
And Son of Dragon will be backing away now,
they're giving
trying to
up
get
the
back to
tower.
base. They're probably going to give away this turret right now. There's not a minion wave actually for a little while. Legend of Nikki trying to tank it up, but Ju and Pharax and Kyogre, they've decided they have something to say about that. They don't want to let this turret go down easy. Son of Dragon has recalled. Actually, Curtain Call coming through now, going on towards Hozan. They're trying to block off the shots. The last one doesn't land anyway, so not a huge amount of damage. But a little bit of zoning there perhaps from Pharax. Not a bad play. Allow Chippy Cow to get back towards the fight. Dredgeline didn't land onto anyone there, only onto the minions, so fight not engaged quite yet, and Enigma look like they don't want to fight at all. They're actually going to slowly back away, but they're just trying to bait them to in further so that the minions can keep pushing in the bottom wave. There is a ZZ Rot now. Chippy Cow's ZZ Rot has been completed, and it is pushing against the super minions, but the super minions do still win that fight, I believe.
Shouldn't Hozan be able to shout Fushradar and just push everybody from for the win off of the tower? I mean, he used to be a Dragonborn.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's not utilizing that so far, just using a couple of Mystic shots instead. But it's doing some work, doing a little bit of poke damage, but he's not landing all that many of them, and there are quite a lot of shields on the side of For the Win. So much poke, just so many different Qs all flying over the wall there. I believe Prey Seeker's on Q, right?
Oh yeah, they are. Well, what about if Hozan, instead of using Fushradar, utilize the shout where you... Oh wait, they're actually fighting.
Yeah, okay. Talk about that later, because Legend of Nikki might be caught out. Concussive Stack's not going to quite lock onto him. Hozan actually goes over the wall, but immediately flashes back the other way. Depth charges onto him. In comes the Curtain Call. Hozan dead as hell right now. He goes down. Son of Dragon's the one who picks that up. Enigma Esports with a misplay, or maybe it was just Hozan, because he thought he could get an assassinate off, but he's the AD carry. Sure, he does a lot of damage, but it's not his job to assassinate, and that's not what he should be doing in that situation.
Really marvelous push off of the tower from For the Win Esports. They could have held out for so much longer, but Son of Dragon just came back from the base, and now they got them off of the tower, so in the end it was a good trade for them. And the shout I was about to say were pretty relevant to that situation, as I'm pretty sure that in Skyrim there is a shout where... Oh wait, actually Pharax?
Oh, the recall is stopped. Pharax, he is definitely going down right now. Legend of Nikki locks him up. In comes a rocket to add some more pain onto it. It is Victor that picks up that kill, but any catch right now is really good for Enigma, and they might be able to use that once again to push in this top wave. Now, they do have all 4 living members right now on that top side. However, For the Win also have 4 members alive, and they should be able to respond. Pharax's death timer is a lot longer than Hozan's, who is now back available and can come participate in a fight again. But that's such a huge amount of poke damage onto the two tankiest members of Enigma there. Just coming out of Son of Dragon, he does a whole lot of damage. And HCS actually just going to go towards the red buff anyway, so it doesn't look like Enigma are going to be able to utilize that pick they made, but a little bit of extra gold in the bank, why not?
Enigma Esports should just have gone into the Baron Pit, or at least into the topside jungle of 41 Esports Club, and started to put down a lot of vision, so that they would have an easy transition into the Baron Pit once the Baron respawns in 15 seconds, because neither of the teams really wants to get the third dragon. It doesn't matter at this point. We're so long into the games that a fifth dragon is simply not a possibility. Unless the game, of course, gets dragged out to like 60 minutes, which I'm not expecting.
No, yeah, looks like teams might be able to close this one out sooner than that. There is a pick already onto HCS now. He's going to be caught out as well. Depth charge onto him. He's stunned up forever, and the curtain call comes onto him. The last shot of the curtain call hits Revoltech, and that is such a huge amount of damage onto him. He's dead as well, and actually for the win, they immediately look to turn towards the Baron, but then they decide, actually, they think they can just end the game here. They're going to push up mid. It's only Nikki and Victor alive. There's not a whole lot they can do. They're both very, very tanky. They can become a nuisance, but I'm not sure they have enough to prevent For the Win ending this game right now.
And I do not understand why HCS does not have a QSS right now. He should have gotten it before he got a Bloodthirster. I mean, it's so essential, and you have been caught out 5 times, you've been punished, now you're putting a team into a big disadvantage, and this might be the game.
Yeah, this might be the game indeed. Nexus turret 1 already down. Nexus turret 2 going down shortly. Is Victor trying to delay as much as he can. It's not going to be enough. Nikki is there. Revoltech, he is back available now. He's here trying to save the Nexus, but it's not going to happen. They're coming up now. They're coming up. Will they be able to stop it? Cayuga, he's hitting the Nexus. In comes Shippy Cow. The Nexus goes down. For the Win Esports pick up the first win in the Highlight TV Cup Series.
And very well played by For the Win Esports. I mean, they had a lot of trouble in the early game, of course. Enigma Esports, they just ended up not really playing to the win condition. They had to keep team fighting, but they just fell so far behind because of a few skirmishes, a few picks that For the Win Esports they got. So it was such a good punishment for the Win Esports, and they ended up picking up the kill. Sorry, the win.
Yeah.
And the kill, of course.
We will be back shortly for the next game. We'll be bringing you, I believe it is Pain versus Exclusive Club. So we should be bringing you that game as soon as possible. We'll be back in a moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is now the second game we'll be bringing you of the Highlight TV Cup series. My name is Tasty Alda, and with me is Ben Varmeren. Say hello, Ben Varmeren.
Hello, Jake, and thank you again for being my co-caster of today. It was a very funny first game, and I heard some people say that we did a great job. So, high five through the microphone.
Right, yeah, nice. Woo. Alright, okay. So this game we'll be bringing you is between Expressive Club on the blue side and Pain Gaming on the purple side. Now, bans already coming through. Fiora and Kindred banned out by Expressive, and Corky and Lucian have been banned out on the other side by Pain Gaming.
And I like to see Kindred being taken away, because we saw in the last game how strong Kindred can be, and she's really one of my favorite champions in the game right now, just because of her dueling potential. She's just such a strong jungler, and I think you pick it up or you ban it away.
Speaking of banning things away, Jhin is the third and final ban for Expressive Club, and wait to see what Pain are going to ban out as their last ban, but it's very heavily AD carry focused bans so far. They're not, well, marksman I should say, because they go to different roles.
They definitely could, and now that the bans have been concluded, we can see on the side of Pain Gaming that they have really focused a lot on, I guess we could say, the bottom lane. Of course, Corky is the flex pick, so he's not exactly mid lane niche. I guess we can say it that way, but still, he got taken away, and I love to see that being taken away.
Alright, everybody, that is an Aurelion Soul insta-lock on the side of Pain.
That is going to be very interesting. I have been waiting for the Center of Universe to come out. It's going to be very interesting to see how Aurelion Sol is going to be played, because we haven't seen a lot of Aurelion Sol. This is actually the first game I'm going to be shoutcasting with Aurelion Sol. And as he's a new champion, he hasn't gotten any buffs or nerfs yet, and I feel like he's a bit underpowered just because all of his power more or less lies in his Star Search. His Q.
Well, yeah, it's certainly hard to tell how powerful he is so far based on one day. A very inexperienced solo queue. And that's one thing to note, is that unless whoever is playing him, because he could go into multiple roles, we're not sure yet, unless they've been playing him a lot on the PvE, they're going to have limited experience on him as a champion. Meanwhile, should mention the other picks that have been locked in so far. At the moment, only one, Shyvana, locked in on the side of Expressive. However, the Pantheon as well getting locked in for Pain, so certainly an esoteric team comp so far.
I'm very interested in this Pantheon pick, because you don't usually see Pantheon, and he's a flex pick, as he can go both mid lane, jungle, top lane. I guess we can even, I have seen him playing support, so he's a very good flex pick, and even Aurelion Sol can go to the top lane or the mid lane, I guess. So a lot of ways to play around for Pain Gaming right now, but the thing about Pantheon is that he has a stun, and as I've already mentioned, Aurelion Sol's power lies in the Star Search, and that stuns as well, so already there you have some good synergy. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Pantheon come out as a jungler, just to play around Aurelion Sol. Yeah,
well, we'll have to see if that is where it goes to in the end. Of course, both of those picks so far can be flexed into many roles. No one really knows where to play Aurelion Sol, right? I've seen it support only so far, but, you know, mid laner, I think that's what it's intended for at least. Another insta-lock there for Pain. Draven is the lock-in, so clearly a very confident player on the side of Pain to insta-lock that Draven and be able to see if they live up to their confidence. On the other side, Ezreal and Zed also picked up for Expressive.
Draven is a bit interesting, because I know for a fact Imag doesn't play Draven as his top 5 AD carries in solo queue, whereas on the other side, Giro plays Draven as his 4th most picked champion. However, there's an Ezreal on the other side, so I'm not quite sure if he doesn't follow, but that last pick as well for Pain Gaming.
Right, oh, yeah,
that's a blitzcrank.
Okay. The time of man has come to an end, and
the center
maybe it's
of the
because
universe.
Their star has blown up because of Aurelion Sol. And actually, speaking of Aurelion Sol and Pantheon, I mean, that's just that. Look at that team comp. Look at that. What?
That's
Hello?
just
What a team comp that is.
Composition.
I'm looking forward to it myself. Like, you know, only be interesting. Well, regardless of everything else, it will certainly be interesting. Thresh on the other side has been locked in, I should say, for Expressive.
Well, for Pain Gaming, it's just they're just clearly going for a pick composition. They have hard CC. They even have burst. They can they want to fight in the jungle, obviously, with Pantheon being such a strong jungler, especially on 1v1s. So just a full pick composition for Pain Gaming, and I'm really interested in the Blitzcrank as well, because again I feel like it's there to play around Aurelion Sol. It makes it easier to land the Star Search.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can get the picks, if you can make sure that Imak is the one who secures those kills from those picks with that Draven, you'll be seeing a lot of League of Draven cashes in coming in. I mean, especially if, because it could be, the kills could be set up on a plate for him, particularly if they manage to catch the Ezreal. And, okay, alright, okay, alright, okay, so, this game, you guys will be able to see Pain Gaming playing Aurelion Sol, Pantheon, Draven, Blitzcrank, and if that wasn't weird enough, Heimerdinger.
Okay, Antonio! It's his 5th most played champion in solo queue. I wasn't sure he was going to pick it, but damn, I'm digging this.
Well, I think one thing that truly shows, I think before the game starts, in the early levels, if we see some quality emote spam coming out of Antonio, we will know that he's going to be a good Heimerdinger. That's how you know. The ones that do the right emote spams at the beginning, they are going to have a good game on the Heimerdinger. Should mention that the last lock-in on the side of Expressive was the Trundle, going over to 997. He'll be in the top lane. So, looking at the team comps, I asked you this last game. I'm going to ask you it again, but it might be a little bit of a difficult question, considering what Pain have done. But based on these team comps, who do you reckon will win?
My heart says Pain Gaming, my brain says Expressive Club. I mean, Expressive Club just have they just have a better team fight. Really, for Pain Gaming, it's so much about pick composition that they don't really have any wave clear. It's all on the side of Antonio if needed, and I just feel like Expressive Club they have a better late game insurance for it. First off, they have Ezreal, who's going to be scaling, most likely going for that blue build Ezreal. Then you have Shyvana, just got toned a little bit down now that the twin bite early game damage has been toned a little bit down, but still she's going to be a very strong late game damage. Then you have Zed, who can split push alongside Trundle. So I just feel like they have such a better, well-rounded composition. Yeah. But as I said, I believe deep down in my heart that Pain Gaming will if not win it, at least give me an entertaining game.
Yeah. Okay, I think Pain Gaming's comp, it's pretty early game, right? Pantheon, of course, pretty much the quintessential early game champion. Blitzcrank, more of an early game champion, I think, than a late game one, but, you know, can get some relevance still because he does bring a decent amount of crowd control, obviously. Aurelion Sol, who knows? Like, I don't know. Do you know? Does he scale well? I have no idea.
He do have some good scaling, but he's more of a bruiser mage. So
right, okay.
I'm expecting something like a Rod of Ages. No, not really something like a... I'm not expecting Merenomicon, Athene's Holy Grail. Something like Rod of Ages into more tanky stats. Especially Lyandry's... I think... No, sorry, Rylai's Crystal Scepter. That was the one I was thinking of. That also gives her... Sorry... It's a he, isn't it? It's not a she.
Yes, yeah. Aurelion Sol is, well,
yes,
I think it. I'm not sure it has a gender, but let's say
it's a dragon. Let's just say it's a dragon. Well, anyways, it just gives more tanky stats, so more of a bruiser type of mage.
Yeah. I'm just totally in awe right now about this. I mean, I think one thing that for Aurelion Sol, what little I know about him, I still think that Zed is going to be a tough matchup, particularly post-6 for Sleepy Sun in that middle lane. We'll see if X-Wade is able to make that work in the middle lane, because, of course, if the Zed gets inside of the Circle of Stars, then Aurelion Sol is not a whole lot you can do without using the ultimate, and Zed can probably juke away from that ultimate pretty easily.
You're definitely right, and with that being said, of course, Zed after level 6 will have an easy way of getting onto Sleepy Sun, but Aurelion Sol, he can poke with his Center of the Universe, his passive where he gets that Circle of Stars. He'll be able to poke with that. He's ranged as well. Star Search is pretty easy to land. Celestial Expansion, which is W that expands the circle, is also it also helps with the poking. And even after level 6, once Aurelian Soul gets his ultimate, the Voice of Light, he'll be able to push Zed off and even stun him, because Zed gets so close to Aurelian Soul. So if played correctly, it should be a safe matchup for Sleepy Sun.
Get to see the Keystone Masteries coming through. Thunderlords, actually, for Anton in the jungle with the Pantheon, rather than Strength of Ages, which you usually see. Deathfire Touch is what's been picked up on Aurelian Soul. I'm pretty sure that's what almost everyone will be going on Aurelian Soul. Interestingly, Thunderlords for Giroud on that Ezreal as well.
That's very interesting, yeah. Normally, we see more of a fervor of battle for AD carries. Even in Korea, they have started to take Warlord's Bloodlust again, but that's more if you want to survive. Of course, Giro could have gone for that, but as we are in the high levels of competitive play, I'm expecting lane swaps, so you don't need that extra survivability if a lane swap is to occur, but still, Thunderlords, it's more to play around the lane to have more punishment coming in. So lane swap might not be the thing that Expressive Club are looking for.
Yeah, it might not be. So we'll be able to see, based on these level 1s, what they're going to go for. Expressive look like they're going to clump up slightly towards the bottom side, with Nane heading off towards the top side on the Trundle. Looks like a 5-point defense on the other side coming out of Pain Gaming. So not giving too much away, not giving too much knowledge to the other side, and not allowing them to gain too much knowledge to the other side either. And it will be a 5-point defense for both sides. So not a very exciting level 1, but I have no doubt that the game will pick up from there. Not going for a classic Blitzcrank invade. And in fact, FULU actually going to be standing on a ward for like almost the entire level 1 here, but whatever.
It's such a cliche to go for Blitz. And I mean, I
tell that to the people I get teamed with in solo queue.
Yes, and talking about cliches, I study movies at my school, so cliches is something we talk about. And here's a quote that my teacher says a lot about cliches: "You see them because they work."
Right.
One cliche I don't really see working too often is the Blitzcrank.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's see if FULU decides to try and cause some havoc. Is postured a little bit more aggressively than the rest of his team, besides Antonio, who is on the Snowmaninger, by the way, in the top lane. Snowmaninger, just thought I should bring attention to that because I believe it to be one of the most hilarious skins in the game, with a great name as well. Snowmaninger sounds perfect. Anyway, bot lane's going to be starting on the bot side with jungle camps, and it's actually Anton who's going to suffer because Antonio's not giving him a leash.
So we get standard matchups. And this was what we were talking about with G-Roars, because he has the funnel lot, so it means he wants to play for his lane, but still you're against the Draven, and it's not exactly the most tanky AD carry Ezreal. So Draven, if he hits a spinning axe, it's definitely going to be a lot of damage that can be taken off of Draven. Now they're actually fighting. You can see the damage.
There is an early level 2. That came from the jungle camp start. Or nothing. He's ignited. Solo might just get away though. Imac, one last auto attack. Flashes in for it. Picks up the kill. Gets creep blocked a little bit, but he's going to be able to escape. Giroud, still only level 1. Can't chase all that well. Does have mystic shots available, and Imac and FULU are quite low, but Imac's actually turning it back around onto Giroud once again. Flash doesn't land. Juked away from by Giroud. Will send a mystic shot back the way of FULU, but still very, very good start for the Pain Gaming bot lane.
And Imac just slayed the dragon here at level 2 power spike, and now Excavate is taking a lot of damage.
He's taking a lot of damage. There is the Celestial expansion, which can chase him for quite a way. However, he does get out of the zone and gets himself to safety, but that's how I imagine the early levels will be going between Sleepy Sun and X-Wade there in the middle lane. There's not a whole lot the Zed can do if he's being zoned away by all those stars, and in fact he does get stunned up again. He might have to do a better job of evading those. Does trade pretty well back onto Sleepy Sun though.
But Sleepy Sun do have more sustain now that he has a pot left, and we immediately see Imac going back and picking up 2 longswords. So Imak, a little power spike. The more AD you can get early on as a Draven, the better. It just empowers his spinning axis.
Yeah. And Anton has been having a little trouble. Considering that leashless start he got, it's not all that surprising. Only just picked up his blue buff. Only 8 CS to the 12 of IDMOS. X-Wade actually going to have a gank coming on towards him now. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Flash, burst, but he's going to get hooked in, and he hooked him straight into one of the stars, which bopped him on the head, picking up the kill. X-Wade goes down, and that is the first Aurelion Soul kill I've seen, at least, in competitive play.
Well, I mean, in from the side comes a Comet of Legend with that Blitzcrank, and Blitzcrank can be so punishing with his roams. He can get around the map really fast now that his overdrive actually brings a lot of movement speed. So, especially X-Wade that didn't have, well, used the flash and then didn't have his shadows to get away, got punished very hard, and Pain Gaming, they're definitely coming out here and setting a statement, and now they're fighting again in the bottom lane.
Another hook landing the Blitzcrank pick, paying dividends right now for nothing. Has the shield, flashes into the wall though, and Imak can still get the auto. The auto follows him through the flash. Giroux gets the dodge away there in the end, using the E to evade that last auto attack, which could have come through from Imak to pick up a double, so... But still, very, very good stuff from Pain Gaming all around the map so far, and it's been full view on that Blitzcrank who's been the one facilitating the plays so far.
And the most important thing in the game right now is just that Draven pick. I mean, if you take a look at the gold, he nearly have enough. Sorry, he nearly has enough for a Beer Sword. So once he goes back, he'll get even more AD. And I've already talked about how AD empowers his kid off the spinning axis. It just makes him so much more of a lane bully.
Yeah.
Ezreal only have a tier, and Ezreal is so squishy. The lane is practically over already.
Yeah, I mean, we've got lane bullies in every lane right now for Pain. They're loving this laning phase, and they'll want it to extend as long as possible, unless they get so far ahead they feel they can just push in and take turrets, because Sleepy Sun's having a great time of it in the mid lane. He's up about 10 CS right now. Nane97, you're seeing having to back. He's been pushed under his turret by Heimerdinger the whole time. He's actually going to get sniped away there. Good kill there for the Antonio, and even though IDMOS had come up to help out Nane, Nane was still slain by the Heimerdinger, and, I mean, the Antonio, he's up so much CS right now. He's got that kill. The bottom lane, not a huge CS differential, but again, a 2-kill advantage for Imak. Full view and Anton, they're coming in towards X-Wade again, and the hook does land. He's locked up, does try and get away using the death mark. There is the shout that will take him down. It's the ignite that does it. He does return 1 kill, however, over on towards Full U. Full U actually going down for the first time, and it was Full U that picked up the kill as well, which is unideal for Pain Gaming, so that's a slightly better trade for Expressive, but across the map, they're just getting dominated right now.
Well, that is the key word. Domination is what is happening for Pain Gaming at this moment, and now Imak just gets out of there, but
he can
actually...
juke away from that one. Might get flayed in, though. He's going a bit greedy here, trying to get the kill onto 4-0. 4-0 has to back away. Giroux, he can arcane shift in, but actually it's Imak that turns it around onto him. One more auto will do it, but he isn't in range. Giroux, that was so close, and Imak almost picked up a 1v2 double there. Anton, he's in the bottom side now, as well as Full U. This is a free kill for the Pantheon. Giroux goes down, and Pain Gaming, they're I mean, I've already said they're dominating, but they're doing it even more.
They are indeed doing it even more. It's hard to dominate more when you're already dominating, but now
they found a way.
They definitely found a way. Well, now they just need to look for objectives now to snowball the game even more. They already have a 3k gold lead, so picking up towers, dragons, rift health should be their #1 priority right now. But a dive is happening in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a very intentional dive, though. Full U was hooked in and flayed in. Actually, they might turn it around onto IDMOS once again. Imak is the king of turning fights around, and he does it again. He might have bitten off even more than he can chew, though, right now. Trying to get away from Giroux. The kite potential is there. Full U doesn't really want to hook Giroux in because it'll get him closer. Mystic shot lands. Shut down for Giroux. But the fact that Imak even got a kill out of that after it was Full U that was hooked under turret is just insane.
And I talked about how Emac wanted to get a BF sword. He actually wanted to get a Yumus Ghostblade. Hang on a second, Aurelion Sword's coming to the top lane.
Coming to the top lane, and Anton is coming as well. The turret is no longer present, and that
No.
is a perfectly aimed Q there. Nane stunned up, gonna be going down. A million spears put into his back, as well as a little cog thrown by Heimerdinger, which is the one that finishes him off, and another kill for Pain right now.
I thought Jin were funny to watch in a competitive game. Aurelion Sol is way funnier. He just flies across the map with the Star Search. I mean, no wonder he's the center of the universe with all that swag he has.
Yeah. Right, well. Actually, we are seeing Jiru killed off once again there. That happened almost so quick I couldn't react, and Kami picks it up. Just another hook landing from Fuyu, meaning another death for Expressive, and they have no response right now. Pain, they're pushing, like, Antonio, he's pushing on towards the inner turret in the top lane already. We're 9 minutes in. The domination that he's shown on this Snowmaninger has been incredible, and there it is, the word domination again, I know, but it's just, there's no better word to describe it right now. Pain are just outclassing Expressive across the map.
And you can't even kill, oh wait,
Oh,
in the top
another
lane.
man drop coming in. Anton comes on, he's hit by the grenade as well. He might be able to turn this around. He has the subjugate, and he actually does get the kill back onto Panton. A little bit of avarice there from Pain, but X-Wade, he's hooked in. The ultimate came through for the silence from Blitzcrank, but it wasn't enough to secure that kill. X-Wade does get away using his shadows. IDMOS come now to hold top lane, while Nane has the turret and immediately looks for the 1v2. He's hooked in. Jiru has the ultimate going across him, and he does trade 1-for-1 still, Imac, but he was taken down there by Jiru, and I mean, 5 kills now on the Draven, an assist as well, 71 farm. He is just, I mean, you need to get the Draven rolling when you have a Draven, and they did get the Draven rolling.
And now Draven also has a BF sword. Oh, wait, actually, Antonio in top lane. Can you even stop this guy?
I don't think they can. This is going to be a 1v2 kill if they keep going for it. It might even be a double kill, and they have to back away. The ulted turret was there. X-Wade tries to go in, but Fuyu is there once again. He's always there in the middle lane. Knocks him up. Fuyu is the one who secures the kill. The Ignite got the last tick. Anton is there now so they can try and pressure the turret. Meanwhile, the Antonio chasing on towards Idemos here. He flashes in. Surely going to pick up the kill. Sets up a turret. Idemos has nowhere to go here. Antonio actually almost lets him escape, but there are the rockets. And once again, another kill for Pain. This is just getting ridiculous.
This is definitely getting ridiculous, and I'm really having a hard time picturing how Expressive Club are able to come back from this. Because, Antonio has a Sonya's. We saw it in the last encounter in the top lane, how Antonios were able to get away without even using the Sonya's. He even were close to getting killed and ended up getting... He was close to getting 2 kills and ended up getting 1 kill. In the jungle, Pantheon is not doing anything. He's just farming. He is behind, of course, in terms of farm, because Shyvana's just been farming all game. Rod of Age is in the mid lane, so Sleepy Sun is also scaling up. Then, the really important thing is Imak. He has a Ghostblade and a BF sword, and we're 12 minutes in the game. 4-0 might even be soloed by a Blitzcrank. Come on.
I don't think that's going to happen though, because X-Wade, he's come through on the Dark Passage. Fuyu pieces out of that one. Actually, Anton comes in, and they're going to turn it around. Whirling Death comes through. 4-0 goes very low, has to flash over the wall. Imak is deterred a little bit by the damage coming out of Jiru, which isn't entirely negligible still. Jiru not doing a bad job of stuff right now. Anton goes in a bit too aggressive there. That was greedy from Anton. He's going to be going down. Sleepy Sun will be able to escape from it though. A bit of question mark pings going down onto Anton. I think that's fair.
I definitely think that's fair as well. And I mean, you took so much damage from a Blitzcrank, and Blitzcrank, he's building. Look at his build. He's building a Magi's Assault Stealer.
That's just cocky at this point. 4-0, he's dead. Another couple of stacks there onto the Magi's as Fuyu comes in to steal the kill away with his ultimate. I mean, okay, so Pain Gaming, they sure are delivering with his team comp. X-Wade actually might be able to pick up a triple if he plays this right. He's only going to get 1 though, because Imak will pop. He actually doesn't go down, but in comes Deimos actually gets it turned around onto him as well. A double kill for Imak coming out of that. How does this keep happening? How does he keep turning it around? Expressive, they keep coming in. They keep thinking they've got a free kill onto Imak or Fuyu, and Imak can always turn it around. Meanwhile, the Antonio, he's already on the inhibitor turret at 13.5 minutes in. Another kill? No, not going to quite be as... Giro actually goes in aggressively, but he's going to be taking down so much damage going through. He does get the kill onto Imak. Fuyu won't be able to escape from this one if the Mystic Shot lands, and it does. Giroud, he's 4-2-0. He is the one remaining hope for his team right now. That is a team which is 8.5k gold behind and is having their inhibitor turret beaten on in the top lane at the grand old time of 14 minutes. X-Wade trying to do something about that here. Put some damage onto the Antonio, but Nane can't get close without being chunked out so heavily by those turrets.
I do not understand what is going on in this game. It's such a weird game, and I think I should probably start listening to my heart more, because I said my heart is saying that Pain would win. My head clearly doesn't know what it's saying.
Oh dear, Pain just outclassing Expressive across the board.
Yeah,
Giroud is the only ray of sunshine for them, and it's not a very big ray of sunshine right now. Demos will, if he's able to ever get sated in this game, I'll talk about that in a minute, because the Antonio might actually be caught out. There is the Zhonya's man drop coming in from Anton. Antonio almost certainly going to die here. He is taken down by Demos. Meanwhile, Giroud was taken down by Anton, and Anton has made a clean getaway from that as well. One kill each. X-Wade hooked over the wall. If they can CC chain him perfectly here, he's dead. There it goes. Another kill for Anton this time. 3-2-2 on that Pantheon. Not that that matters when you have a 7-3-3 Draven and a 3-2-7 Blitzcrank with a Medjai's. God. And meanwhile, Sleepy Sun took a turret in the bottom lane. Out of all that, there's still good macro players going on for Pain, despite all the chaos. For nothing. He's caught out now. He's going down. A huge crit from Emak. Secures the kill, and... alright, people are going to have to stop getting hooked in by this Blitzcrank, because Fuyu is dominating on that right now. And Nane, he's dead as well. Imak, another kill. What a surprise. You know, it's almost boring now seeing Imak pick up a kill. It happens so often.
Well,
here's another one. There it is. Double kill for Imak. Another hook lands. Another kill for Dimak. Meanwhile, a turret has gone down, and Imak going aggressive again. Trying to get onto Giroud. If he gets a crit, he might get lucky here. Whirling Death comes back, hits Giroud on the backside. Another kill for Imak. They're onto the inhibitor turrets in the top lane. They're onto the inhibitor turret in the middle lane. Sleepy Sun is zoning them away with that Aurelian Soul. And there is the inhibitor turret in the middle lane going down. Here goes down the inhibitor as well. They'll probably just rotate to the top lane and try and take that one down. They might have to back away, though. They are quite low on health and mana. Fuyu definitely is heading towards that top side, though. And depending on how low the turret is, they might be able to take it down. They're going to get it, I think, here. Antonio's coming in. Anton's there as well. Nane gets hooked in, does get away from it. Anton, one last hit will do it. There it is. Flashes away. Sleepy Sun's coming in with a big stun zone there. Antonio forced uses Zonya's early. Anton, he's down. There is the big turret, though, doing a lot of damage. Voice of Light does even more damage. Idemos tried to get in there with the Dragon's Ascent, but couldn't quite manage to get there before going down. Another kill for Antonio. An inhibitor turret is down, and an inhibitor, another inhibitor turret, and an inhibitor in the middle lane, also down for Expressive. This has gone from bad to worse for them, and I don't see any way back into it for them.
A little bit of light finally came into this game for Expressive Club, but then they took a look at the mid lane, where the inhibitor's down, and then they realized, we have no way clear. How are we, in heaven's name, going to be able to deal with super minions?
Yeah.
Realistically, this game is not going to be working for Expressive. It's over. You can't even deal with Imak. I mean, Imak, if he doesn't get hooked, he could easily 2v2 anybody if he doesn't get hit by any CC, because he has a Humus Ghost Blade. It empowers his attack speed. He has an Essence Weaver and a Static Shift, so practically tons of CDR, tons of armor penetration, and a lot of attack damage. Nobody can deal with him. Look
also,
at the
crits
damage.
coming through thick and fast. Like those ones onto Nane. 2 crits in a row. 1 regular auto to finish it off, as well as the Whirling Death coming through. Imak picks up another kill. And I think the real question at this point is in the game, not whether Expressive can make a comeback, not whether Pain will lose it, because they won't. Another kill for Pain. Imak, by the way. But if Imak could 1v5 at this point. What do you think?
that is definitely the right question, and I definitely think he can. He has so much damage. He is the stuff of nightmares right now. I mean,
Yeah.
if you take a look at him, I know he's not the center of the universe. That is Aurelion Sol. But Draven really wants to be it, and I'm pretty sure he's getting closer to being it than Aurelion Sol.
Yeah, hey, come on, man. Draven is the center of Draven's universe, so I'm sure that's what he believes. Minions already coming on towards the Nexus turrets, and Pain might be looking to end this one 320 right now. If they can manage it, it will be very impressive indeed. Sleepy Sun zoning them away with that Celestial expansion, but they are able to clear the minions out. 3 inhibitors down now for them. Not quite, actually. The one in the top lane, it'll go down shortly. A million minions onto that one. A kill comes through. Antonio picks up 1. X-Wade also goes down to Imac. Here comes the man drop, but I don't think it's even needed. He actually does come in. Doesn't pick up the kill onto Nane. Imac picked that one up. That is, by the way, Medjai's 18 stacks right now. Game is going to be ended in pre-20 minutes. As long as Pain don't mess around here, they're going to be hitting it slowly. It's only Full You focusing it. Anton as well. Imac isn't going to die even to the fountain. And Pain pick up a win in 19 minutes and 28 seconds.
Beautiful game by Pain Gaming. They just snowballed off of their advantages coming out of lane. We didn't even reach 20 minutes. I'm not even quite sure we can say that they even came to the mid game, because lanes practically didn't exist in the bottom lane at least. So they just snowballed this game, steamrolled over Expressive Club, and they nearly ended with a 20,000 goal lead. Come on, what is that?
I mean, oh my god, what an insane game. I mean, okay, so Imac did 16,000 more damage than the closest competitor on the side of Expressive, who was Giroud, who did 10,835 damage. Imac did 26,812. The next most was Antonio on the Heimerdinger. But, you know, if ever you've seen a game taken over by one person, it's that one. And he didn't even need to. Pain was still winning in every other lane, but Imac decided that he wanted to solo carry, and I'm pretty sure that constitutes a solo carry in the end. Might not have been necessary, but he did it anyway. And really good stuff from Pain. I'm sure we'll see at least the Draven band out against them in the future. And I can't wait to see what else we've got in store for them. That will be it for us for this second game. We'll be back in a moment with a third game to bring you of the HTV Cup series. Don't miss it.
show shot so high, keep it cracking like it's the dope spot. Fuck the evil corporation, it's Mr. Robot. Music got 'em moving now, this is a show shot. To lose your constitution, get loose as a wet noodle. Got 'em dancing on the Lancey as fancy as Pat Poodles. Got 'em downtown swinging like dance, a little fame. Send my enemies back to the essence from which you came. What inspired you? What is it you're trying to do? Somebody told you you should probably give it up, they lied to you. Never aspire to the average or the mediocre. The greatest society you take over. Stockbroker or an activist, a soldier or a pacifist. Life and chain reaction, you a linker, you a catalyst.
Hello once again, everybody. Welcome back to the third and I believe final game of today. We'll be bringing you from the Highlight TV Cup series. My name is Tasty Aladar, and with me is Ben Varmarin.
Yes, and with this third game, I'm hoping that we might get a little bit more of a serious game than the last game, despite how entertaining it was.
Last game was serious as anything, dude. Pain Gaming was super serious that whole time, and there's nothing you can say otherwise.
I'm sure they were.
Okay, so bans already coming through. Trundle and Callista are the first two to suffer and be knocked away by the ban handle.
And, okay, so I'm more interested in the Trundle ban than Callista, because Callista, I said this in the first game as well, she got nerfed, so she's been toned down very hard, and I don't really see her as a contested pick anymore, but if you play her correctly, she can still be such a big pain in the butt. But Trundle, I love to see him being taken away, because I think he's a very strong top laner, and he can really deny these tanky top laners, for example Nautilus, Poppy, Maokai if he even comes out, because he has been seeing some buffs recently. So Trundle can split push and deny top laners, and I really love to see him being taken away.
Yeah, Graves and Poppy have also been banned away now, one on each side. Last ban for Void Gaming, who are on the blue side, by the way, and Enigma Esports on the purple side. I should have mentioned that. There you go. So those are the two teams we have today. And Void Gaming, the last ban is actually Sejuani.
And now I'm very interested in seeing whether or not Kindred will be banned, because you already took away Graves. And Kindred, I know this Victor doesn't really play Kindred, but Kindred is just a better version of Graves, and Kindred is this dueling early game jungler who wants to be building Devour often. So I'd like to see them maybe pick it up here. Yeah, yep. Exactly, you pick it up.
There you go.
We know that Behemoth likes to play Kindred. It is his second most played champion in solo queue, so he certainly knows how to play it, and Kindred she's just so strong. We saw her spin the game out of control in the first game of today.
And the other two picks are quickly responded on the side of Enigma Esports, and it will be the Braum Lucian lane, a classic. Everyone loves to see that one in the bottom lane, and if they get proper lane matchups rather than there being a lane swap, Enigma could get quite a big early lead there if they play that matchup as well as it could be.
Now I'm interested in seeing whether or not Hosan will play more safe than he did in the first game of today, because he had Ezreal there, and many consider Ezreal to be one of the most safe AD carries that you can possibly get in the League of Legends. So with him going for something like Lucian, he will certainly have way more lane pressure, but his safety might be toned down now that he doesn't play Ezreal.
Well, a big factor of the safety on Ezreal is the fact that he has a blink, right? Or a dash, I don't know which it is, I guess it's a blink. But if you use the blink to go in, that completely negates the safety.
Like
Hosan, I'm not sure he went out with that ability once in that first game. The Ezreal is going to go over to the other side. Sorry guys, my bad, we're picking that up for Void Gaming, as well as the support lock-in as well. So both bot lanes have been completely locked in. Ezreal Alistar versus Braum Lucian. I give it to the Braum Lucian every day if they get proper lane matchups.
Yes, and Braum is also a better support right now than Alistar. Alistar, of course, is still this tanky frontline beast. Braum just does it better. He's able to tower dive earlier than Alistar because he has Unbreakable, and Alistar has an Unbreakable will, but you only get that at level 6. So generally, your tower diving as a Braum is just better, and Alistar also received some nerfs here in patch 6.6. So now his heal only give 33% to his to champions. So generally, he can still have this sustain in lane, but it's just not as good as possible. So Mystic shots are probably the way for sorry guys, my bad, to farm in this game.
And a couple of beefy tanks locked in on the side of Enigma Esports there in Gragas and Nautilus. Nautilus going to be heading towards the top lane, you'd imagine, and Gragas in the jungle. And that is a really tanky comp they've got themselves so far. Not very high damage, though. The only damage at the moment really coming out of Hozan. A little bit from the Gragas, perhaps, as well from Victor, but not a huge amount. So we'll be able to see... It'll be interesting to see what their mid lane pickup is, because it's going to need to have a lot of damage with it if it's to become a viable team comp. On the other side... Looks like Void Gaming are hovering over the Maokai and Azir right now. Switches to the Ahri. I really like the Maokai right now. I think Maokai incredibly strong in several different roles, actually. And
no, take the Maokai. Take the Maokai. Don't take Nocturne.
Not Nocturne top. Okay, there's Maokai. Good. Okay. So the Ahri is locked in for Void Gaming, as well as the Maokai. Maokai will be heading towards the top lane. Ahri, of course, in the middle lane.
Oh yeah, oh yes, and I love Enigma now. I mean, Alcafe playing Azir, it couldn't be better. Azir's just, he's a really strong mid laner right now. He's high risk, high reward, and he can bring so much single target DPS, and also he can bring AoE damage. So he's so strong, but he is high risk, high reward, and he of course are against an Ahri, so that can be punishing in itself.
Yeah.
And Ahri has an ignite, so someone like Alcafe, which is who stole my name. His name is Alcafe, but somebody literally stole his name.
Yeah. So quite the saga, that one, actually. Changed his name away to troll a teammate, or his coach, I believe, and when he tried to change it back, someone had taken his name from him, which is why we now get the rather flavorful name that he has currently. However, we will be trying to call him Alcafe throughout the cast, or Alcafe, because that is the name he prefers.
Yes. But still, you mentioned how there were a lot of damage over on the side of Enigma, and you now have more damage. Of course, with Azir coming in, that it is hard damage, and Lucian also never really have these big power spikes. He always have like a power curve that has a few bumps on the way in the game. So they have the front line that can protect that high risk, high reward pick coming from Azir, but still they need to be able to stop the dives coming from Maokai, coming from Ahri, even Alistar. All of these can get back to the backline and pick up Lucian and Azir. So that's what I'm looking out for, and especially the Maokai is what I'm looking out for the most.
Right, yeah. And I mean, so once again, Enigma going for 3 mega tanks for a front line, and a very conventional frontline backline style, 3 frontline, 2 on the backline. And on the other side, we have a rather different sort of situation, because Kindred, while the ultimate is up and running, is a frontliner, to all intents and purposes, can act as a tank. However, as soon as the ultimate is down, Kindred becomes a backliner. So it's sort of a 2-1-2, if you will, front to back on the side of Void Gaming, whereas it's just a more standard 3-2 from Enigma. And I think I prefer Enigma's comp, though it is perhaps slightly lacking in damage. It depends on how much Alcafe is able to bring on that Azir. But what do you think? Who do you think, based on these team comps, will win the game?
It's hard. I like both team comps. I can see the win conditions for both of them. It's about team fighting, and it's hard because, you know, a lot in these games, in this current meta, is about getting the momentum for you, and it's really the junglers that tends to dictate how you get the momentum. And both of these junglers, both Gragas and Kindred, can do this, because Gragas, he goes for Runic Echoes and is able to deal a lot of damage. Kindred goes for a Devour often, not necessarily, but often goes for a Devour. So they will also be able to be a very not tanky, but a damage backline, frontline, whatever. So if I have to take a pick, I would give it over to Enigma, just because I really like the Seer pick. Lucian also, they have this consistent damage. And I feel like the front line of Enigma can handle the damage that will come out from Kindred and Ari and Ezreal. And I think I feel like the laners of Enigma are just some lane bullies that will dictate the game. But still, the Maokai pick is what I'm looking out for, because I feel like Maokai, now that he received some buffs here in 6.6, will have an easier time of surviving the lane, because he has base magic resistance plus growth. It's been buffed. So, especially in this game where there are basically 3 magic damage dealers on the side of Enigma Esports, I feel like Maokai couldn't really be in a better paradise.
Right, and we'll be able to see if Buron is going to be able to access Paradise with that Maokai, and whether he's able to make it work. Getting into the loading screen now, should be able to see the Keystone Masteries in a moment. See if there's anything particularly interesting picked up.
Well, Buron just has to follow the voice of light. Unfortunately, Aurelion Sol aren't in this game, but follow the voice of light into heaven, into paradise, and do not follow this snake.
Yeah, well, you just love showing off that you know all of Aurelion Sol's ability names already, don't you?
I am the Comet of Legends. I am the center of universe. I'm a celestial expansion, a star surge.
You are. Oh, well, talk about that in a moment. Boheron actually going to be caught out slightly. Winter's Bite didn't land onto him, though, and he might be able to get away. Is Dredgeline back in, though? That's going to be a dead Boheron already. A kill already. First blood going over for Hozan. A fantastic start for Enigma. Really decisive play from Zvictor in particular to go for the flash body slam, and boy, did it work out well for them.
Hozan is now the center of universe with that first shot. well, it's very well played by Enigma. They also get a lot of good wards. So, they are the ones that came out ahead of that. Of course, they got the first blood. So, that is a longsword over on the side of Hozan. And he is that lane bully. Of course, they're not going to get the standard lanes, but they will have an easier time of pushing down towers now that they have extra damage over on the side of Hozan. And they also have a lot of vision to play around with. So, standard lanes is not going to be a thing, but they already have the momentum going for them. And Enigma Esports, they are on the right path to victory.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, it's actually Enigma Esports who are the ones who initiate the lane swap, despite the fact they have what most people would consider to be stronger lanes, both in the bot lane and perhaps in the top lane as well. Top lane's a bit of a closer matchup, I think, but they are the ones who have opted into it, and we'll be able to see if they are the ones who make it pay off in favor of them. Revoltech actually coming in to disrupt this blue buff, and actually, Svitka is coming as well. Behemoth, he's stunned up. He's only level 1 still, and he's actually going quite low. Legend of Nicky's here as well. Behemoth has to flash away. Buron also has to flash away. Nicky lands the dredge line, but his team isn't there following. He's going to put some extra damage onto him, gets the concussive blow stacks, but Nicky is fearful of a collapse, and rightly so. Sura Reborn wasn't heading towards it, still just laning out here against Alkafi so far, but might actually get a gank in his favor. No, that's just passing through there for Behemoth, and Enigma Esports starts up the turret trade. Oh, interesting, a TP coming in from Boheron here. He's only level 1, but so are Revoltech and Nicky here. I'm not sure there's too much they can do about it. They do have the concussive blows, though, and they're going to take him down once again. Boheron, he's died twice. He did pick up a kill in return, however, onto Legend of Nicky, so it could have been worse. More trading in the middle lane. Revoltech also went quite low there, but this is still in favor of Enigma Esports, and they can push down this turret still really quickly.
I'm not quite sure why you would teleport to the top lane. You are already having a hard time because you are in a lane swap, you're not receiving any resources, then you go ahead and use your teleport to the top lane. That's a very weird decision in my opinion.
Back.
What? Why are you even doing this, Boreon? You should be in the bottom lane helping your bottom lane.
He's still level 1 with 0 CS. Yeah, I mean, the same could be said for Legend of Nicky. And Legend of Nicky doesn't have a kill, but he does have 2 assists, both of them onto Boheron, I believe. Who's Alkafi actually quite low there, gets ignited, Pops the cleanse, and Behemoth's actually on the wrong side now. Alkafi, he might be in trouble. Oh, what a beautiful glide that is. Will Behemoth be able to catch up? Wolf bites Alkafi twice on the backside. He does pick up the kill anyway with the Dance of Arrows, but almost the great escape from Alkafi. If he'd been able to pull that one off, that would have been insane.
That would definitely have been very insane. I mean, oh, I'm not going to the wrong place again.
Boron Y. He's going to be locked up by the concussive blows. It's another kill for Hozan. 3 kills onto him. 3 deaths onto Boron. There's definitely a correlation there. Enigma Esports, they are getting the better of this so far.
Look in the bottom lane. We can also see that now Behemoth are in the bottom lane. Legend of Niggy might be in the same situation.
Yeah, he might be. He is standing further back from the turret as well. Looks like he's going to back away. He's just waiting there so he can catch the wave once it pushes through. The turret will be traded over. That will even out the gold slightly, but it's still around 600 or 700 in favor of Enigma Esports right now. That kill in the middle lane onto Behemoth did help, and he is stealing away a blue buff as well. So not bad. Behemoth trying to make the best of a bad situation right now for his team, and he's doing a pretty good job of it.
Okay, and I know that you aren't getting a lot of resources in a lane swap. And I know, Boreon, you want... Oh, wait, actually, never mind.
Oh, Behemoth coming back again. Might even try and make the situation even better right now. Charm lands. There is the Orb of Deception. Sura Reborn picks up the kill. Another kill now in the middle lane. Another death for Alkafi. He's not had an ideal start, despite the fact the rest of his team kind of has.
And I love... Well, it's good to see how they're shutting down this Azir pick. I talked about it's high risk, high reward. And here we can see the risk. You don't have any summoners right now. Oh, wait, actually, Revoltech.
Revoltech's in trouble. Speaking of not having summoners, Flash not available for him. He does have the Unbreakable there, though. And they aren't going to dive onto him. He's too tanky for them right now.